All righty, guys. Let's get into those picks because, guys, we're 45 minutes in. We haven't done the picks yet. Y'all know we love to talk about picks.
Pick 'em.
You guys did so good in your picks. We might have to talk about a parlay soon.
Listen,
Yeah.
did someone say parfait?
Ooh, give me some parfait.
I can't help it. I love the movie Shrek. It's spectacular. Which I heard they're making another one, by the way. They're making another Shrek.
No.
They are.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
And then a live action one.
Keep on making. Oh God, no!
I'm only kidding.
Don't Disney it up here, okay? Stop it. Not every animated movie needs to be a live version. Looking at you,
Bob.
Bob Iger.
They did that with How to Train Your Dragon.
Listen, that I'm actually kind of curious about because that actually could be really good live. That one's asking to be done live. I'm sorry, nobody asked for a live version of The Lion King, which wasn't even live. It was CGI'd with computers instead. It was just the Pixar version, basically, or
pretty much
live action version of The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Like, what? Nobody asked for that. Anyway, I digress. Goose fraba. For those who don't know, I'm huge into Disney. I can't help myself. I live an hour and a half away from there. I go all the time. Insane. It is the happiest place on earth. But let's get into the picks here, guys, because we got to do our picks and a weekly preview here for week 14 there, as we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who, of course, will remind you in this segment, if he was actually here, how many people got picked ahead of him at the wide receiver position and what pick they were picked at as well. But let's get right into it here with our recap from last week. So in the end, guys, again, 16 games. We had a full slate because of the Thanksgiving games. Nobody had a bye week. So out of the 16 games, I had 15 of the straight up picks correct. Rob had all 16, which I think is the first time we've ever had somebody get everything in one category correct, by the way.
100%. I was close one at a time.
Usually I talk trash, but I'm going to give you kudos, Rob. I'm going to give you kudos. I know.
Are you feeling okay over there?
Don't expect it next week. Of the spread picks, I had 11 of the 16 right. You had 9 of the 16 right, Rob. Of the over-unders, that was the only category we did not do so good on. I only had 6 of the 16. You had 7 of the 16. And then you and I each had 4 of our trifectas having the spread pick, the overall pick, and the over-under correct on the same game at that point there. So that gave us a total of both of us with 36 points for the week at that point. So on the season, I stay with my 12-point lead that I intend to continue keeping my lead this week. And you are not going to come back like last year out of the end of there, like the Patriots against the Falcons, because that's what you did to me. God damn it. It was not fair of you. I'm like Matt Ryan over here of the picks. Not cool. So
still going to happen.
Now, we did forget to give our picks for tonight's game, by the way, yesterday's show. We were very bad. We're going to be scolded. But we'll go over that when we do our selections here. But we do our recap of the week there, because Rob and I did put our picks in the spreadsheet before the game started. So that way there's no falsities here. So we're going to start right off with the 1 o'clock games. We got the Jets at the Dolphins here to start off there. The Dolphins are giving up 5.5 points, and the over-under is 44.5. And guys, I can't believe it's only a 5.5 point spread the way the Jets been playing, especially in the second half of this part of the season here. Like, the Jets are almost as bad as the Giants. I could say that if I was a Jet fan, I would be even more upset than I am as a Giant fan now, because there was expectations of this team. No one really had expectations of the Giants, but it is bad, absolutely bad. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins will easily win by a touchdown, if not more at that point. So I got the Dolphins to win. I got the Dolphins to cover the spread with no issue whatsoever. I am also going to go over on the points, and not because I think that the Jets will score a ton, because the Jets are facing a defense that's been actually much better this year than they were last year. But I think that the Dolphins will just put up that many points. You know, they're going to put up like 30 points or so against this Jet team. So, yeah, I got Dolphins, and over.
Drew, what do you think about this game?
I already told you.
Yeah.
It gets so confusing with two Drews. Drew with the W, Drew with the U.
You know what?
Drew,
I think
you.
Miami is back in their weather. They got rid last week. They were in the cold and they didn't do so great, but now they're back in their element, back in their weather at home. I cannot see how they don't take care of the Jets over 7. Over 7. Just their running game alone. Tyreek Hill hasn't even been doing that great lately. He has the injury with his wrist and stuff like that. But their running game, the offensive scheme just works. And the Jets are just, like Drew said, they're a headache and a half. I don't understand how they have all these top tier players and they still can't figure it out. So 100%, I'm going to go over the 5.5. Scores at least 7+ on them, and I'm actually going to go under on that 44.5. I'm going to go under 44.5.
You know what, Drew? I agree with you. There we go. Sure. Next one up.
You have to be more specific. Which Drew do you agree with?
No, I actually, it's obvious. Like the Fins, that's fantastic.
So we are continuing our tradition as Rob is on the pick sheet with the anonymous name because Google Sheets gives a anonymous animal whenever you're on there. So this week you are anonymous duck, apparently. I think like last week you were what, like anonymous lemur or anonymous platypus, whatever.
I think it was sloth.
Sloth, okay. But yeah, there you are, anonymous duck. Which I don't know why, but that looks like a duck that's like constipated and having trouble popping one out. I'm saying, like,
laid an egg.
I never thought we'd talk about constipated ducks on this show, but here we are. You never know what's going to happen on two giant goofballs. God damn it!
No, but anyway, going back to the other animals here, the Dolphins. So since two concussed come back, they have not been that super high power offense what they once were. They put up points, they put on Beasley, but they haven't been putting up crazy amount of points. They are going back to Miami. They're playing in their heat. They like putting their fans. They like putting the away team in the spotlight by literally in the stadium by having the sun go down right in their face. Fantastic. Love trolling. But the Jets are just a dumpster fire. Aaron Rodgers, 4 years old, gets the head coach fired to blame everyone else but Aaron Rodgers. He can't take accountability of anyone. They got so banged up. Their defense, it's never his fault.
Never his fault. Just ask him.
Like, just every player, there's a lot of talent there, and it's just the coaching around. They just are not being coached, and they just got a lot of toxicity in that locker room. So I'm taking the Dolphins to win, the Dolphins to cover. Probably like Drew said, it's probably going to be like a +7, +10. But I'm going to take it in the under because I don't have faith in the Jets to do much of anything, and I don't think Miami themselves are going to put up 45. Fantastic.
I know I'm not going crazy.
Oh, you probably are going crazy. You're on the show, so therefore, let's get.
Pretty much. So you got the Falcons going into Minnesota, don't you know?
Oh, don't you know that?
Don't you know? The Vikings are favored by 5.5 points in this game, and the over-runners at 46 points. And obviously, on paper, the NFC North is probably the best division of football right now when it comes to at least team win-wise, because you got the first place Lions right now with 11 wins, 10 straight wins, playing against the third-ranked team in that division that has 9 wins. And now you're talking about Minnesota has 10 wins themselves, playing a home game against the Falcons, who are struggling at 6-6 right now. But it's also a little bit of a revenge game, possibly, for Kirk Cousins. I don't think that matters. I'm going to take the Vikings to win this game.
I don't buy that. Yeah, I don't think it matters.
I honestly think that ended very amicably.
It did. I like being juicy
come
with
back from injury and at least do that whole like horn thing they have in the stadium. I don't know what the term is for it, but they have that thing exactly. It's some kind of horn. I think it sounds like this. I don't know, but I'm just saying like that's what they have. And they go ahead. They go ahead and let him do that and say goodbye to the fans. I thought that was a classy move, but they did that last year, honestly. But yeah, it's a revenge game. That's.
I was like getting saucy with it.
You're trying. You're trying.
But Minnesota's also playing a little closer games, and it's kind of like almost like a must to get into the playoffs for the Falcons. Because if Cousins doesn't play well now, if there's another 4 picks, whatever. Guess what? We can see what Penix Jr. has to offer, but I don't think that's going to happen in this game. He's playing in the dome. He's used to that stadium. He's used to the fans. I think they're going to cover the points there, and I think it's going to be done in the under. It's more defensive game.
Yeah, so
46.
I got simple Vikings under is where I'm going 100%. I think the Vikings are going to absolutely destroy the Falcons this thing. I really do. I think he got 4 interceptions last week by Kirk Cousins. The man does not tend to deal well with adversity. It's just part of who he is what makes him an average quarterback.
It's not prime time.
No, but what it is it's prime time for his career. He's 36 years old right now. He's about to lose his job potentially to Michael Penix if he keeps playing the way he's playing. He's feeling pressure. And he's going against his former team, as you mentioned. Like I said, I'm joking about the revenge thing, but don't think that don't matter to him. So he's going against his former team. He's just coming off a 4 interception game. He's trying to keep this rookie that's breathing out his neck on the bench at that point. That's a lot of pressure for him. Maybe not a lot of pressure for the team. It's a lot of pressure for him specifically. And he has that ability to falter under pressure. So, yeah, I'm going Vikings under.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably go Vikings under as well, just because I think it'll be, if I had to predict, I would probably go with like a 23-21, maybe even a 23-17. So just right under.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the game of the week, guys. If you're a Giants or Saints fan, for nobody else, the Saints at the Giants here. So the Saints are 4.5-point favorites. The over/under is 41. Now, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret that the Giants are not only on a 7-game losing streak, they're on a 7-game against the spread losing pick to go along with that. So picking the Giants for anything has not been very good for almost 2 months now, basically. And I don't see that changing in this game here. I got the Saints to win. I got the Saints to cover. And I also have the under in the points because anytime the Giants are playing, I'm probably going to bet the under. Because the Giants are putting up 14 points a game on average this year. So you're basically saying that the only way this thing goes over is if the Saints put up more than 27 points, which is possible. Don't get me wrong.
Alvin Kamara just going ham.
Yeah. But it's not typical in the NFL to put up that kind of points there. Yeah, so because of that, I'm going to go with the under, and I'm just going to hope I'm right.
And I'm just going to ditto you on that one. Okay. I'm the same exact on that one.
Yeah, I'm taking crazy pills, guys, apparently, because I'm taking the Giants to lose this game, but I think it's going to be more of a slop game. It's going to be cold, even though they're not playing, they're playing in MetLife. It's going to be cold. I'm taking the under in this game. I'm taking the over in this game because I do think these lines are beat up. There's too many injuries here, and I think it's going to be a very sloppy game with a lot of mistakes to end up in touchdowns and field goals. And I'm going to take the Giants to cover the spread here.
It's a bold move. That's a
bold move. I lost a lot of points off this. So.
Over 41?
Yeah, over 41.
Yeah, that's bold move there. All right.
Panthers going into Philadelphia, playing the Eagles. The Eagles are 12.5 point. This is the biggest spread of the week, boys. And the over/under in this game is at 46.5.
That's
points.
A bigger spread than an orgy at the Playboy Mansion. I'm just saying, that's how bad that is. That's
deep and wide. Deep and wide is a spread.
Wow. 12.5 points.
Yeah. But yeah, the Eagles are they're 9, 7, or 8 wins straight right now. They're playing solid football. Their defense is coming around. I think this is an Eagle domination game. I think Eagles against the spread. I'm taking the over just because Barkley's going to feast in this game again. As long as he does not get hurt, it's not a feast game. And we just know that Nick Sirianni just doesn't let up. He's just going to keep throwing that ball down. He's going to keep running that ball, and I think it's going to be over before the halftime.
Yeah, I'm looking at what's going on with the Panthers lately, And there's something different about this Panthers team since Bryce Young got back from being benched, guys. There
I
really
agree.
is.
I
And
agree.
I'm not suggesting he is going to be good in this league, but he's better than he was. I think that's a safe thing to say at this point. If you look at the last games that they had here, they just lost by 3 points to the Buccaneers last week. And if you watch the game, again, I live in Tampa Bay. I was actually helping out a buddy of mine who's doing a show for this, and point blank, the Panthers should have won that game. They lost by only 3 points to the Chiefs, which is par for the course. Everybody loses by 3 points to the Chiefs, but that's still an average. That's better than what they would have done typically. You know, they beat us, as everyone tends to. They beat the Panthers by 1 point. You know, I mean, that's 4 weeks in a row that they've kept it really close now. And I just think something's kind of been that switch has been flipped a little bit there, and the team has gotten better. Dave Canales is a guy that fixed Geno Smith in Seattle. He fixed Baker Mayfield last year in Tampa Bay. If there's anybody who can fix the shortcomings of Bryce Young, it's going to be Dave Canales. The guy who's got a record of doing it now with the guys that were point blank 100% reclamation projects in Geno and Mayfield. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Eagles will win this still, but I think the Panthers will keep it closer than the 12.5. And I do have the over on the over-under as well there. So I got Eagles, Panthers over.
Yep, I'm actually good on the same thing. I agree with you 100% on that.
See, the Drews are aligned.
I see the Drews aligned. That's what happens.
I think that, I really agree with Drew when he says that they've been competitive lately, and especially against the Chiefs. And I think that if they hadn't played the Chiefs and they were playing the Chiefs this week with a 12.5-point spread, everybody would be picking that as well, just like they are with the Eagles. And look, they only went down by 3. So I definitely think they smashed that spread, and there's no way that they over 12.5.
And hey, listen, you guys aren't wrong for saying that, but the Chiefs also have been just barely squeaking wins out.
Yep.
You play the Buccaneers, who's a divisional game. So, yes, they always play each other tough.
But they don't play anybody tough recently, the Panthers.
That's according to what you said.
No, I'm saying until lately. That's what I'm saying. That flip has been switched.
But also the Eagles, taking our bias hats off, have been dominating football the past 2 months.
Yes.
They have.
So,
but dominating.
There's a lot of butts here.
Yeah, they're still going to win. There's a lot of butts. We're going back to the orgy here, but I'm just saying, like, that's what's, who would have thought I'd talk about ducks, orgies, and everything in this episode? It's crazy.
Duck, there's an orgy.
Let's go with the Panthers and Eagles are going to be the bait game of the week with a 12.5 spread.
Like I said, that's exactly what it is. They're just trying to get some money to spread both sides at that point, so Vegas can't lose too much. That's what I feel like this is 100%. So
yeah, it's a bait game, I think.
All righty, next up.
Your
turn, Rob. Okay, I can't keep track. I get so distracted by this orgy talk. We got the Browns at the Steelers, guys. And that's going to be an interesting game overall because, first off, Jameis Winston has been so much fun to watch the last couple weeks. It's not even funny. Like, I still say, if he's available as a bridge quarterback next year, I'm all there for it. Like, I think
I've been saying it since this offseason.
We did say it last offseason. We did both say it. You and I both said it. Like, why not bring in Jameis Winston to compete with Daniel Jones? And honestly, if they had done that, he probably would have won the job outright. Point blank.
Listen, he did last week exactly what I said he was going to do this year.
Yep. Throw for 500 yards, get 2 pick sixes. Like, that's what he does.
He'll get you in between 5 to 7 touchdowns. You don't know which team's going to throw it to, and he's going to get you 400-some yards.
And I want that man mic'd up every single goddamn game he's a part of. I don't even care if he's on the bench from now on. I want him mic'd up because he's hilarious. Like, where has this been his whole career? I had no clue he was like that until all of a sudden a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden he started popping. And it's like it was that snow game they had, a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Jameis Winston just loves playing football, and it's so much fun to watch the joy this man has, along with the ridiculous things he says combined with it. Like, oh my God, like, sign me up for this. Like,
he's like a celebrity to WWE.
Yeah, like I want Hard Knocks Jameis Winston. Like, just follow Jameis Winston around. Like, seriously, sign me up. Oh my God. Anyway, though, who would have thought last week that the Steelers would be the offensive juggernauts of the week last week. Like, oh my God, like it's what's going on in Pittsburgh? All of a sudden,
Who would have
Russell
thought
Wilson
with
is
Russell
Russell
Wilson?
Wilson of old, man. Woo.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know. Somebody
tells
sparked
you.
something.
Really just tells you how bad Sean Payton effed that up in Denver.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's doing very well with Bo Nix, who's exceeded expectations I had for him. But
absolutely.
Russell Wilson, just there was a guy that he could have worked with, and just whatever reason the two didn't work out. Anyway, I got the Steelers to win this game because let's be honest, they're just a better team right now. Now I do think though there's a 6.5 point spread that the Steelers are giving up. I do think it'll be a little closer than that. I think it's going to be like a game separated by like a field goal, and that's it. So I do have the Browns to cover the spread. 43.5 points. Whew. Steelers did that by themselves last week, pretty basically. And we're going to have Jameis Winston throwing pick sixes and touchdowns all game long. So therefore, I got the over on that. So I got Steelers, Browns over.
I really don't want to say the word ditto again.
You can use a different word if you want.
Same.
There we go. Rob, what is going on with your camera?
Oh my God.
Are you blue?
I'm part of the Blue Man Group. You guys didn't know?
In the water.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. What's going on here?
Something happened with my camera. I'll mess with it after a second. Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers to win this game. They've been playing some great football. They've been flying under the radar good football. 9 wins. We all thought we're going to it's
Hold
going
on
to be the year.
Rob. Hold on 1 second, Rob. I got you. Go for it.
Perfect. Thanks. Yeah. So Steelers have been playing great football. 9 wins. We were talking about at the beginning of the year. It's like, does Tomlin somehow get to be above 500 this year? Well, guess what? No matter what happens, he's above 500. The Browns has also been, doing what the Browns do best, playing terrible football. And it's just at the beginning of the year, but they've been coming around since Winston's come around. But I don't think it's enough for them to cover this spread against this divisional rival who's been just doing smash mouth football. So I'm taking.
Hey, now you're an all-star. Get the game on. Go play.
And then I'm taking the over. Every time the Steelers has played one of the divisional rivals this year, it's gone over, and they've just playing great football. And unless it's just the whole division has gone over. Unless you're the Ravens and the Bengals, you keep it close. Otherwise, it's just scoring.
Yeah.
Can we just not say Smash Mouth in the show? Because I do have that song in my head now.
We
lost Rob again. Oh, he lost his camera. That's why. He's still there. I see him. I still see him. He got his mic and always trying to figure that part of that. There he is.
There.
All his duckiness there.
Listen, I do want to edit my thinking on that game because I just realized that I said same for you, Drew, but you did say that they were going to be under. They were going to be against the spread, right? That's what you said?
I said over, but I said Browns would cover the spread.
Oh, no. I think that the way Jameis plays.
I appreciate that.
No. The way Jameis plays, he can throw for a lot and he can do his thing, but I just see him, going downfield at the end of the game and just making another mistake and throwing a bad throw. So I'm actually going to say that the Steelers are going to keep it at 6.5. They'll win over.
All right.
They'll win by touchdown. I can see that.
So you're agreeing with Rob instead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm with that one on that one.
There we go.
So let's talk about the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Going down
the battle of the Pirates.
We need the Raiders to win. We need the Raiders to win.
Yes.
Probably
Let's
not.
Go
but
Raiders. Let's go Raiders.
So, they're the Bucs are giving up 6.5 points to the Raiders in this game. So, yeah, could happen. But the over/under is at 43.5 points.
Could happen.
Yeah, a lot of things could happen. But I'm going to take the Bucs in this game. They're just obviously the better team fighting for the divisional. Still fighting for the division down there. Raiders are way out of it. And I'm going to take the Bucs to cover them because just once again, what's a better team? But I mean, you still got Max Crosby could really get after some things over against the Buccaneers. But yeah, I think it's going to be enough. But I'm also going to take the under in this game at 43.5 points.
Well, this game is actually 46.5, if I'm correct. But you're still going to be under that anyway. Since you're under 42, you're definitely going to be over 46.
Yeah.
Did I miss type picks? I had 43.5. Let's see here.
You have 43
46.
for the Bucs game?
I did
Yeah.
mistype.
Oh, I have 43
No, I
for
mistyped it. You're 46.5. This is just me fat figuring our spreadsheet that he and I use for our picks, so that we can keep track of how bad I beat Rob's butt that week. So yeah,
Or he cheats with that. Change the numbers later.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, I got the Buccaneers to win this. I got the Buccaneers to cover, and I got the over even because I think the Bucs are just going to destroy this and win this battle with the Pirates there at that point. So,
arg, matey.
Yes, you're going to shiver the Raiders' tempers.
Yeah,
shiver me tempers. Did I ever tell you my business idea I had down here? By the way, I want to start up a smoothie place where people dress up as pirates, and you get handed a smoothie. Here's your smoothie. I think it'd be hilarious. Like people would like just buy it for. It would work for anything, obviously, but there's something about Florida and Tampa having smoothies. It just goes along with it.
Yeah.
What were you getting a smoothie? Well, I bought it from this pirate near the beach over there. It'd be spectacular.
Your smoothie.
Here's your smoothie. Oh, the weird things my brain thinks of. I also thought about starting up a thing where you can rent boats, like just small like rowboats, and I was gonna paint them like bananas, so you can rent banana boats. I'm just telling you, these are weird ideas, but they'd work. They would
come along, come jump on my banana boat.
It's not quite as good as my pop-up book version of the Kama Sutra with pull tabs. That would be an interesting
Yeah.
thought, I'm just saying.
Yeah. How'd the pop-up move like that?
How do you do that? Well, there we go. Let's look at the pull tab.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I told you we're gonna cancel one day. Next game that we want someone to win specifically on is the Jaguars at the Titans here, guys. Go Jags. Go Mac Jones.
Go Jaguars. Let's go Jaguars.
Who would have thought we're counting on Mac Jones to potentially save us here? And listen, guys, again, they're playing the Titans. Remember the Titans? They suck. Okay, like that's where we're at.
So do the Jaguars.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, and this is when I'm as a Giant fan saying that the team sucks, it's bad because I have no room to talk whatsoever, like point blank. Like I should just say every team is great because this will be the easier route to not get made fun of. But the Titans are bad, guys. They're not. They're like top 5 worst teams in the NFL right now. So Jaguars are top 3. So I mean, obviously the Jags are worse, especially since they're now without the perp plus version of Daniel Jones here, with Trevor Lawrence being out because of that hit that he took there last week. But listen, Mac Jones is the guy that has at times not looked horrible and at times looked absolutely horrible. We don't know if Mac Jones we're going to get. If we get the Mac Jones that worked under Josh McDaniels that had him rolling and looking like a decent quarterback his rookie year, are we going to get the Mac Jones that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge jacked up and messed up in New England? Like, I don't know which one he is. Yeah. I will say this. As much as Doug Peterson has not been good as a head coach as of late, the man still knows offense. He still coached Nick Foles to a goddamn Super Bowl. He knows offense. He knows how to coach quarterbacks. And I'm going to hope for our sake, for their sake, that Mac Jones is more the rookie version of Mac Jones and the Jaguars somehow win this game. I am so hoping for it that I am goddamn picking the Jaguars to win this game and will us into the first overall pick here when the Raiders beat the Jaguars in another week or two. And then we got Jags to win. We got Jags to go ahead and cover because they're actually getting 3.5 points in this game here. Yep. And I'm going with the under because 39.5 is about, as low as you usually see a spread. But guys, it's still not low enough with these offenses here. This is going to be like a 17-10 kind of victory is what I'm guessing here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Roar.
Roar. Because I'm going.
All right. Well, I wouldn't bet this game. You guys bet with your hearts here. I would not bet this game. The only thing I would probably bet is the under in this game. So agree with you there. But I'm going to do the opposite with you guys. I'm going to Titans because you're
Well, hold
talking
on.
about.
Drew didn't agree with me necessarily yet. He was
You
hoping
said same.
well.
I did
Did
say.
you say
Said
same?
same.
Oh, I missed it. I was used to ditto.
I know you're too busy talking about yourself.
But listen. If you were as spectacular as me, you would talk about yourself all the time as well. I'm just saying, like, don't blame
So
me.
much for having a co-host, huh? But listen, when you talk about four sides of football, that's there's six sides, but when you talk about the four sides of football, you got Trevor Lawrence is going to be out for the year. You're going to shut him down. You got some other key injuries. They've had the 32nd worst defense out there. I'm not trying to say Will Levis is an all-star in offense because he is also trash. The only part of football that's good on this that's going to be on this field is going to be the Titans defense. They keep low-scoring games. And because of that, I'm going to take the Titans to win.
They're actually averaging 27 points, I think, a game. We talked about that yesterday, if I'm right, the Titans. They're not nearly as good as they used to be on defense whatsoever.
Well, it's way better than any size of football that's going to be on this field. Like I said.
No, you know what? I'm going to look it up real quick. Well, because I am actually very curious where we're at here with this whole thing. So, 27.7 points per game the Jaguars are giving up at that point there. Let's see. The Jaguars are not player stats, team stats. 28.3, 29th. Oh my God, they are that bad. 19 points per game by the Jaguars, and the Titans are scoring 18.4 points. See, the Jaguars are better at something. Oh yes. Go Jags.
All I said was the best side of football is the Titans defense, but glad you got that for you. All right, let's go into the 4 o'clock games.
Let's go into the 4 o'clock games.
You got the Seahawks playing going to Scottsdale playing the Cardinals.
It's Glendale, wrong Dale.
Sorry, Glendale. Yeah, whatever.
One of the Dales. Chippendale, Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. Cards are favored by 2.5 points in this game. Ooh. Over under this game is at 44.5 points. This should be an exciting game. This division has been playing each other super close, and it's flipping back and forth. And going into this week, Seahawks are number one with half a game lead, if you will, a game lead. But the Cardinals' defense has been playing better than a lot of people expected. I'm taking the Cardinals to win this game. I'm taking them in the cover in a very exciting game. And I'm also taking the over. Even though I just talked about the defense, but I don't think there's much of a defense with Seattle in recent times. So
I'm
over.
with you almost. I'm just my only difference is I got the under on the game. I got cards under. I just think that the Cardinals, are gonna just do enough. I mean, a divisional game that always is a close game, as we always say. But I think these are two teams that are defensive minded as well. They got defensive coaches, and they're going to do just enough to get you the under at that point. By the way, though, who would have thought we could put money on it that it'd be all 4 teams in the NFC West who would be within 2 games, and the 49ers be in last place?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like every year there's surprises. Like that's the surprise for me, and I get the injuries.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you have CMC and Nick Bosa out, it's
I feel like the whole team's been out at some point.
100%. They've been banged up.
Drew,
what do you think?
Drew, you.
I'm taking Seahawks.
Ooh, getting a little spicy over here.
And it's spicy meatball.
It's a spicy chicken wing.
It's only 2.5 points. I'm taking Seahawks. And I'm going to take the over on the 44.5. I think it's going to be one of those games where they just go back and forth.
This was Drew's moment where he's like, you know what, guys? I'm going to do something different, goddammit. I'm not going to follow the trend. I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing right now.
Lose yourself in the moment, bro.
Drew, you respect that.
I can see Metcalf and them having a good game. And
I sure hope so.
Yeah. James Conner and Marvin Harrison have a big game. I see it going back and forth, and I see it going over that 44.5.
All right, so we got next game up we have is the Bills at the Rams. And I think what the Bills should do is do a Josh Allen swap at that point. Let's have Josh Allen from the Jaguars over to the Buffalo for the week. Let's have Josh Allen from the Bills over to the Jags for the week. And that just solves so many issues for all of us, okay?
Yeah.
Jaguars get a quarterback. We get our first overall pick. I'm just saying this would work out great for everybody.
Yeah, work.
But yeah, Bills at the Rams here, guys. And I don't think there really needs to be much of a discussion on this. The Bills are just freaking ridiculously good this year. The Rams have had ups and downs there, so to speak, there, but they're basically an average team, and their record shows that they're 6-6. So you got an average team versus a very good team. Guess what happens in that scenario usually? The really good team tends to win. So you got the Bills win. 3.5 point spread is all you got. And honestly, because of the fact that it is in LA, this game is probably why there's only a 3.5 point spread. But that's not nearly enough for my taste there. So I got Bills to win, Bills to cover, and I do have under in the points as well. That was a little tempting to go the over, but I feel like the under is the way to go.
Yeah, I definitely could see the Bills taking over that game. 3.5 points is a little scary though, because this game is screaming field goal at the end to win the game. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go Bills cover, and 49.5 is kind of high. So I'm gonna go under 49.5.
Yes, at least we all can agree on the Bills here, because Josh Allen, he's number one MVP candidate right now. The guy's playing lights out, great football. The Bills have been nasty all year. They have not let up on offense. They go out there, they're winning by 20. Let's score another 10 points because F you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the over because they're just smashing the ball down. And guess what? Matt Stafford's a veteran quarterback in this league. The Bills' defense isn't the best. They're good, but they're not, what they were a few years ago. So I do think that Sean McVay could scheme out some plans and get 20 points on the board. But it's not going to matter when Josh Allen's going to score 34 himself. Maybe not himself, because he got some other guys on the field as well.
He's going to have some help. He has to throw to somebody.
Yeah, so I do think it's going to be more of in your face, a lot of scoring, back and forth, and what happened to the defense in this game.
I'm sorry, I heard a lot of scoring, a lot of back and forth. Are we back to the orgy talk? Is that what's going on here?
Yep.
I'm just
12 and a half, deep and wide.
We never said we're family friendly. 425 games.
Yeah. Let's talk about going back to the orgy. Let's talk about Bears. Rawr.
Hold on. I gotta ask the question. What do the Bears have to do with an orgy?
You know what a bear is?
Oh, we're talking about that kind of bear. Okay, yes. Why don't you share with
Get your mind in the gutter as you're trying to be in the gutter.
Yeah, why don't you share for the rest of the class who might not know, but yes.
Go ahead and Google it, Urban Dictionary.
We were so close to getting Rob to explain it awkwardly.
Well, it's even better because they're going into the Bay Area. They're going into San Francisco. All those Bears. They're just going to get eaten up alive.
Oh my God! Stop.
The Niners are 4-point favorites at home, and the over/under in this game is at 44 even. This game is just.
Is Purdy playing?
It is trash. Don't just stay away. Stay away. He
is playing.
Is Brock Purdy playing?
I believe so.
If he's playing,
I'm taking the Niners in this game in a trash-tastic game. Take the Niners to cover this.
Yeah.
When I look it up here, all I see on Brock Purdy is to talk about how he might have been screwing himself out of a potential big contract the way he's playing this year. He is. Let's see here. I'm just checking the injury report. He's not even on the injury report at all. So
all right, so he plays. I'm worried about that. I'm not sure about that 44 points.
I'm going under on those points, but I'm taking Niners to win. Niners to cover. Brock Purdy's he's listed as healthy to play.
Yep. Yeah. Same.
I'm going to be the different guy this time. I'm going
He's going to be a bear.
The Bears.
The
Bears.
Bears.
There's
It's
no
a
way
dick
you want
moment.
the Bears.
I'm saying the
Bears
Bears. I'm saying the Bears. I'm going for it because I feel like the 49ers are that team that's just on the verge of falling off the NFL cliff, so to speak, there. And they have had every injury known to man. Trent Williams obviously is still out. Seems like, Christian McCaffrey is, obviously having a rough year between all the injuries he's had. And, it's not quite the same player right now because of that. I just, something tells me, because this whole Chicago locker room was so anti, Eberflus, it's not even freaking funny. And I just feel like this is going to solidify that locker room. They're going to band together, and they're going to do something. Now, could I be wrong? Of course. To be very frank with you guys, I wouldn't put a single penny on this game. This is a do not pass go right to El Paso, Texas here on this one here. Like, this is not one I would have any interest in putting money on. But something tells me that the slide is going to continue for the 49ers, who, again, have to pay Brock Purdy potentially here soon. This is going to be an interesting thing this offseason because we've all talked about it forever. Is Brock Purdy any good, or is it the team around him? He's got one more year left on his contract. That's it. So should be very, very interesting to see if he can finally afford an apartment without a roommate next year. Just saying.
Well, you know what Brock Purdy's going to say to the 49ers, right? He's going to say, well, listen, Daniel Jones got paid. I want to get paid.
Well, if I was Brock Purdy, I would give the advice of not mentioning Daniel Jones whatsoever in your contract negotiations. I'm just saying that is probably not the best course of action. But yeah, I got the Bears in this one here. I said Bears, and under. Let's get to what could be actually the actual game of the week here, the Chargers at the Chiefs, because that's a nice matchup there, guys. Divisional matchup, two teams that are playing well. We said it before, the Chargers are quietly one of the best teams in the NFL, really. I mean, if they were in any other division, you'd be talking about them as a potential winner of, the division. Yeah, along with the the Broncos, sorry, who also are doing very well. This has been a very top-heavy AFC this year. Like about 6 teams that are doing very good, and everybody else is doing poop, basically. That's where it's at. So, they're 8-4 on the season right now. Listen, anytime you can go 8-4 to start, that's not too shabby. That means you're on pace for about 11-win season after all the disappointments the Chargers have dealt with over the years. But you know who's guaranteed to have at least an 8-win season? The Chiefs, because they're already 11-1. I got the Chiefs to win this game, guys. But here's the thing. The Chiefs always win by just a smidge, just a little bit.
Just right.
Sock it to me, just a little bit. And that's where we're at here, where the Chargers got 4 points they're being given in this whole thing. So if the Chiefs win by a field goal like they traditionally do, the Chargers would cover the spread. So I'm going Chiefs, and I'm going with the Chargers to cover the spread. I'm going the over at 44 points because, quite frankly, I'm just being stupid. It's just the vibe I have. The smart bet would probably be the under, to be very frank with you guys. Something just tells me, and I tend to go with my gut, that this is going to be a higher scoring game than people think it's going to be for whatever reason. So I got Chiefs, Chargers over.
Yeah, I like the Chargers actually in this game. The problem is the spread. If the spread was 2.5, I'd definitely go Chargers. But with that 4 points, I'm not really going that 4 points because, like I said, I see this being a field goal game. I'm definitely going to go over in the 43. I think it's going to be the game of the week when it's all said and done. And I'm actually.
Oh, you made another typo. It's 43. I put 44. I really need to do these spreadsheets, but I'm more awake and not coming off of work, apparently. I said 43. Right. 43. You're right. On our spreadsheet that I made keep robbing me's picks, that's where we had it as. I put it wrong. It is 43.
Yeah. I see it being a field goal game, but I see Chargers winning with a field goal, so that would still put Kansas on the spread. So I have to go by the spread. I'm going to go Chiefs. If there was no spread, I'm going to say Chargers win that game by 3 points. over 43.
What you got, Rob?
I got the Chiefs to win this game. Chiefs always find a way to win games, and like you said,
What they do?
in a very, I want to say low scoring, but lower scoring games by a field goal. So I'm taking the Chargers in the spread. I think the Chargers had the potential to win this game straight up. I'm going to take them in the spread just because it might be one of those really close games down to the wire. And I think it is because both these teams this year, they both have really good quarterbacks who can throw the ball down the field, but they don't utilize that. Instead, they utilize a heavy run game. They run the clock, and then they have both good defenses. So it's going to be molecular football back and forth with a couple play actions, a couple big plays, and I'm going to take the under in this game because of that.
Yeah, like I said, that's a smart pick. Point blank, even though I said over. Like I said, just the.
I mean, it could go either way in that. It's going to be a heck of a game. All right, last game, Monday Night Football, the game that no one wants to watch Monday night, but here we go. You got the Bengals.
The flex.
Yeah, please flex this. You got the Bengals going into Dallas playing dim boys, if you will. Dim boys. And the Bengals are favored by 5.5 points going on the road. And the over-under in this game is at 49.5 points.
What?
Yeah, it's a doozy there, but it is also possible. It's also Vegas kind of tickling you, like, hey, where do you go here? Bengals have one of the best offenses in football, just not enough to compensate for one of the worst defenses in football.
Yep,
it's god awful. The Cowboys have gone downhill big time since last year. That defense that everyone want to talk about, guess what? Dan Quill is over in DC now. He's not sitting there picking up this team like you once did. You got Dak out for the year, and you got geriatric running back. So Bengals defense could have a surprising decent game. So I'm just going to take the Bengals win. I'm going to have them cover that 5.5 points. And I'm taking the over because this is also another team that doesn't let off the gas once they start putting points on the board. Poor Josh Burrow set a record this year with, I think it's 3 or 4 games. I think it's 4 games where he had 3 touchdowns, 300 yards passing, and no interceptions, and lost those games.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, I'll definitely go. It's easy money right there. It's Bengals. It's definitely going over 5.5 points for the win. Now that 49.5, I could see the Bengals running the ball a lot at the end. So I'm going to go under 49.5, but definitely over the spread and that 5.5 points. That's easy money. I would bet my whole paycheck on that.
I don't know if I go bet my whole paycheck at anything that I want to keep my house and not get my mortgage.
Yeah.
Bengals Dallas.
I never. But I'm Bengals, and definitely under because the Bengals should destroy Dallas, and the 49.5 is way too high for my taste. Now, Rob, you mentioned something, and we're going a little sidetrack here. You mentioned it's a doozy. Do you know where that comes from, by the way?
The outhouse.
That's a doozy. Doozy was the Duesenberg car back in the day. Beautiful car. You can't talk cars and not get me talking cars. You know this. Duesenberg cars were just absolutely beautiful cars. They were like, you're talking like 20, 25 years. I want to say like the 20s and 30s were like their heyday, but by the end of the 30s they were done. But they are ridiculously expensive if you can ever get your hands on one, but absolutely gorgeous cars. Anyway, as I sidetrack, bad game. Bad job on not letting teams flex. I think all prime games should be flexed if they want. I think that the Monday should be flexed. The Sunday should be flexed. The Thanksgiving stuff should be flexed. All that stuff should be flexed at that point because to force this nation, this proud nation of ours, to watch crappy football is a crime.
Especially this late in the year.
Yes. Like, especially the Giants. I'm going to say the Giants. I'm just assuming the Giants, but it's a crappy game. But the Cowboys offense versus the Bengals defense. Oh my God, that is going to be horrendous to watch. It's going to be like the worst football you'll see all year long. Like really, really bad, guys. But yeah, that's our picks of the week, guys. We're going to go ahead and again, as always, do our recap on Monday, giving you guys all the updates on how badly I whoop Rob's butt as usual. Oh yes,
You said that, but it happened.
Yes, I'm up by 12 points for the week. For the year, I mean. So I'm up. Take that.
Less than half a point a game.
Smoke it.
It's less than half a game. Half a point a week. Not even a game. A point.
Did you celebrate in 2022 when the Giants beat the Titans by 1 point? I know you did. I was on the show with you. God damn it! A win is a win.
A win is a win.
Yeah,
but it's not won yet.
I need a win here, okay? I'm so used to the Giants losing for so long. I need a win, okay?
And just like the Giants, I'm going to sweep it right under your feet and take that win from you.
Wow. Just mean. So mean. So mean.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.